Ask you a question just to bring it back to the France game again. I'm asking you on Terry. Who do you guys think is better? Because there's been a debate since yesterday on football Twitter. Who's better, Wirtz or Cherki?
Bruno
Who do you
Fernandes.
think is better?
This guy is so shameless.
Guy's so obsessed, man.
You know what? I can't lie stuff for you, yeah, bro. I haven't overly watched Wirtz and Cherki to really have a strong opinion on who I think's better. But I think they're cold. I think they're both cold, bro. I have to. You have to come back to me when I watch them in the Prem.
We've got Hassam on this one. Basing it on pound for pound on their valuation and what they cost, I'm going to go with Cherki. So that's the issue when you start trying to point score with pound for pound, because pound for pound, you know how much more Wirtz has got to do than Cherki to be more successful. But on a real level, I've got a horrible feeling it's going to be Cherki, you know. And when I say horrible feeling, I think he's going to kill it for City in the Prem. I'm not saying Wirtz won't do well. I think Wirtz is going to be a very good player. I just watched when Cherki played against us. It was just it's the nonchalant way he does things so consistently. When a football player, this is the way I would word it. When a football player looks like he has more time on the ball than anybody else, you've got a problem on your hands. When they look like they have all the time in the world, almost like time stands still, because they can just they can operate in tight spaces. They can find an extra half yard easy. Their brain works quicker than all the other players. Wirtz, amazing. I think Liverpool are signing a stellar player. I'm not putting him down. But for me, I've just got this horrible gut feeling that Cherki is going to be amazing for City.
People
for are doing 30 million. I think it's a better deal.
I mean, we've even got Ade in the chat right now talking about Pep's just going to stifle him. Like, bro, I'm just bored of that line. I'm bored of that.
But it's true, though. It's true. No, we have evidence to say that.
Yeah, but bro, listen. You can talk about evidence as much as you want, right? When it comes to certain players like Cherki, as long as you play this guy centrally, he is going to do what KDB used to do for these guys in terms of the creativity. He is coming into that team to basically replace the creativity that KDB brought in, bro. Right? You can't stifle a man when he's in dangerous positions to try create for Haaland. You can't be Cherki's not going to be looking at Haaland making off the shoulder runs and saying, "Oh no, Pep's saying we need to keep the ball. Let me go backwards. Let me go to the left. Let me go to the right." Yeah. There's certain players, Staffy. I'm sorry, you can't stifle certain players. And so again, I can't stress how important it is that you play this guy down the middle. Yeah. And people, it's what I mean. People on YouTube, yeah, you guys have no comprehension. No one said he plays like KDB. No one said that. I said he's replacing the creativity that KDB brings.
No, I understand you.
That's what I said. I never said he plays like him. They don't play alike, right?
Okay, so here's my worry.
As long as he plays him down the middle, he's gonna have a fantastic first season, bro. As long as he's played centrally.
Okay, so here's my worry. Let me ask you this: where did KDB play for the City team?
Down the middle, bro.
No, but where exactly? Because they played a midfield 3, a 6, and 2 8s. Where did KDB play? Because I know people always called KDB a 10, but he never actually played in the 10 for City. He's always played in that right 8 position where he's between the winger and he's between the exact middle line. So he kind of occupies that area. So a lot of times he actually looked like David Beckham just playing on that right, crossing the ball into the back post. That is a lot of his creativity came from that. And sometimes obviously he'd be moved around, but predominantly he was there. My worry about Cherki is that I think Cherki is the anti-Pep player. When I say he's the anti-Pep player is because he's someone that's needs a little bit of a free roam. There's players that you can't really restrict to a certain area on the pitch. Pep generally coaches players to tell them which areas of the pitch they should be in with and without the ball. I look at Cherki, I think he's brilliant. I look at Pep, he's a brilliant coach. I just don't think it's a match that makes a lot of sense. If you put Cherki and you restrict him to certain areas, and you're like, you know what? I can't have you roam around to the right. I can't have you roam around to the left. You have to stay in these certain areas. I don't think you get the best out of him. And that's why I'm issuing that question. It has nothing to do with his ability and that he will flop or not City. I don't know. I just seen him. When I watched the Lyon games, the 2 games against us, bro, he'd be dropping deep. He'd be higher up the pitch. He'd be leading the counterattack. He'd be trailing on the counterattack. He'd drift to the left when the ball is there. He'd drift to the right when the ball is there. He's all over the place. I don't see Pep doing that with a lot of his players. That's how Pep has always been. And you can argue that that's the reason Pep has had success. There was a story that Henri told us at Barcelona where he scored a goal and got subbed off at halftime, and Pep subbed them off because he scored the goal going to the right, and he left the left side position where he wants him to stay in. That's who he's always been as a coach. So unless he changes that, there is a reasonable reservation to have on Cherki actually playing his best football there. He reminds me of Grealish. We always knew he's just not someone to keep him in the left wing. His best ball came from Villa when he drifted into the middle.
Yeah, but
so why am I not meant to think the same thing can happen? It's fine to say.
That's why I specifically said play him down the middle, because if Grealish was played centrally, I think he would have done a lot better at City. But you play him on the left, and you're stifling him there, bro, because he's not a winger. He wants to cut in every time. He wants to keep the ball every time.
I don't think.
So are you saying play 2 6s and a 10, or like a double pivot and a 10, basically?
What, as in now the shape is
like now. When Cherki comes in, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'll probably say, like, obviously you start off in terms of build up. Rodri doesn't even need a Reinders next to him, bro. Right? But if he does that, you play a 4-2-3-1. You have Cherki in the 10, and most of the time, bro, teams are going to sit back against Man City. You have Reinders and Cherki in advanced positions, and you've got Cherki trying to find those little passes, bro. And that guy's IQ's mad. The guy's IQ's mad. Even just on the ball, the things that he does on the ball is crazy. You're gonna have more shots outside the box. The goal that he scored yesterday, man, just walked off like it was a normal goal. You know what I mean?
He's excellent. Gatman here. Gatman here says if Wirtz hadn't rejected City and Liverpool ended up with Cherki, everyone would say the opposite. So transparent.
I think Cherki fits Liverpool more than City. If that makes you feel better.
I rate them both. I tend not to do this thing where it's like I'm gonna slag off one player to make the guy.
I'm comparing City and Liverpool.
No. I understand that. I'm answering it from my perspective, and I think they're both excellent players. But I'm being asked who I think is going to be the best of the two at their respective clubs, and for me, I just think Cherki. That doesn't mean Wirtz won't be very good as well. At the end of the day, what I'm not going to do is the whole I love Ronaldo, so therefore Messi's crap. Or, I love Mahalo Mudryk so much, I'm going to pretend he was good. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to do anything like that on the show. Who exactly is in for Gyökeres? Even Liverpool and Chelsea are going for Ekitike. Even United has not put in a bid. There is something fishy with the last.
Let's say the lad.
Oh, the lad.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Listen, I don't know what's going on there, man, because the amount of goals this guy scores is ridiculous. But you've got to look at the league, innit? And I've spoken to Jem many times about this because Jem loves Gyökeres, right? And I've said, bro, like, I can't lie, most of the goals I'm watching, this guy's in so much space, like so much space. You know what I'm trying to say? But I wouldn't turn him down if he was to come Chelsea, bro. The way we play, the chances we create, I'll be calm with it. But if you're a team that don't really create consistently, he might not be the guy for you, man, because his all-round game, in terms of linking up and that, I don't even think it's better than Sesko's for me.
I think he's given a word to Amorim a long time ago. And I think that's why. That's my guess. I have no proof of that. That's just my guess.
Nah. I think it doesn't make sense. I think if Arsenal came in for him, he's picking them over you. I think if Chelsea come in for him, he's picking them over you, man. I don't think it's that. I just think that we've both gone for other players.